In my previous life, I had just graduated from college. My boyfriend, River. It is advisable to take a trip to the mountains. Whitewater rafting. I tried to dissuade him. Point out that the rapids there are steep. And danger. Make accidents possible. River listened to my concerns, and we didn't go. However, other classmates who went eventually capsized their raft. Some drowned, while others suffer from lung infections or brain damage. A few years later, River and I got married and had a baby. I feel like life is perfect. Until that day I was too weak to get out of bed. Postnatal. River dragged me to the bathroom, then shoved my head down the toilet. Suffocate me. His last words to me were filled with hatred. If you hadn't stopped me back then, she's not going to die. That's when I realized. River blames me all the time for the death of his childhood sweetheart, Lily Parker, who drowned on that rafting trip. When I opened my eyes again, I went back to that day. River asked me about rafting trips. Infant. My friends and I are planning a trip to the mountains. A few days later, try extreme whitewater rafting. They say it's the most exciting in the country. Please come with me. River's face loomed in front of me. A suffocating fear welled up in me. I gasped. It takes a moment to calm down. On the table is a pamphlet for the rafting trip. It boldly advertises a 300-meter drop. Not for the faint of heart. Or people with heart disease. Anna. This is the perfect birthday gift we found for River. It is guaranteed to be exciting and fun. Also, River is adventurous. You won't let his birthday down. Would you like to? Lily said, slapping her in the eyes, as if to brainwash me. She even threw a flirtatious look at River, who returned it. Their gaze was filled with wordless intimacy. In my past life, I was naive enough to think that their relationship was pure, platonic, childhood friendship. But now I clench my hands tightly. Force yourself to stay calm. At that time, both of them eagerly pushed me to join the rafting trip. I refused, citing the risk and a sharp decline, likelihood of overturning, and mismanagement of new attractions. I warned them in the mountains. Rescue may not arrive in time. If something goes wrong, Lily's face immediately darkened. What do you want to say, Anna? If you don't want to go, that's fine. But we put a lot of thought into River's planning. Now you just don't give a damn. Even River seems upset. Anna, Lily is my best friend. She never put me in danger. I ignored River's instinctive defense of Lily and apologized to her. Then I dragged River out of the restaurant. Leave Lily, muttering, coward. If you don't go, I'll go. Myself. Back to our apartment. I put together news reports about rafting accidents and send them to River. Although reluctantly, he eventually decided not to go. After reading about the fatalities caused by rafting, as expected, disaster struck. On the day Lily and her team went rafting, their raft capsized and the workers were rescued. Smoking in the woods was a distraction. Didn't arrive in time. Lily, who can't swim, drowned, while others were injured to varying degrees. After that, River hugged me tightly. There was a look of relief on his face. Thank you, Anna. If not you, I could have died there, too. We got married and had children. There was a time when life seemed calm and happy. But just a year after we got married, River killed me, accusing me of causing Lily's death. He took our children and inherited my family's wealth, just to drive my parents and kids down the street. They froze to death. Now, when I look at River and Lily, I barely smile. River, today is your birthday. So, of course, you should decide what we do. I'll go wherever you want. River was so happy that he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I know my kids are the best. Lily's expression made Anna feel sad. I thought you didn't like to take risks. Are you just pretending for River's sake? She clutched River's sleeve tightly. If Anna doesn't want to go, we shouldn't force her. The rest of us can go with you. Suppressed my disgust at her false concern. I'm smiling all the time. Oh no, I'm excited about it. Let's get started. Packaging River. I dragged River out of the room. Let Lily stay behind us angrily. As soon as I got home, I began to eagerly pack my bags. However, River seems worried. Anna, you said that place was dangerous. Are you sure? He handed me his phone. A promotional video showing the rafting site. The lens shows an almost vertical drop. Almost 90 degrees. With the raft falling into the rapids. Disappeared for a while, then reappeared. The comment above the video reads, "Ride in the morning and pick it up in the afternoon. Wake up in the evening." It looks deadly, but it's not safe. A great way for companies to downsize. Survivors can brag. The losers were left behind. River hesitated. Infant. Didn't you say you wanted to do something challenging? Birthday. This year? It seems perfect. I smiled calmly. That's right, River. Let's make this birthday unforgettable. Also, if the project is open to the public, they have to make sure it's safe. There are a lot of staff watching over it. Nothing will happen. Trust me, I whispered, trying to reassure River. If you're really scared, I can call Lily now and tell her we're not going. I picked up the phone and pretended to call. Algorithm. River snatched the phone from me, apparently panicked. Late that night, I woke up to find my bed empty. I got up to look for him and found River on the balcony. Video chat with someone. A smile welled up on his face. In my past life, how did I never notice? There's something between the two of them. Keep laughing, River. This time, I will personally send you and your baby Lily straight to hell. On the way to the extreme rafting site, Lily started her antics again. First, she claimed that she had motion sickness and insisted that she could not sit in the back seat. She asked me to move a bit so she could sit next to River. Lean on him. Whenever the car is bumpy, I closed my eyes and tried to ignore her. But she refused to let me go so easily. Anna, she said sweetly, before we start rafting, we must sign a disclaimer. If you're afraid, it's not too late to quit. She turned to look at me. Her eyes were full of smugness and provocation. Of course, pull over and I'll take a taxi home. I replied calmly. Take off my headphones and look her straight in the eye. No way, she exclaimed, caught with one's pants down. We're almost there. And you alone are dangerous. You can't go now, River interjected, looking uneasy. Yes, Anna. Don't listen to her nonsense. It's not scary at all. River's friends chimed in, trying to ease the tension. I just don't think Lily likes me very much, I said, pretending to be hurt. I've agreed to come. But she kept saying, it's not safe and not for me. My voice trembled slightly, and I played the role perfectly. Lily didn't expect me to contradict her so directly. She opened her mouth wide, but for a long time nothing was said. Then she stammered. Anna, you misunderstood me. I'm just taking care of you. I pursed my lips and let the tears glisten in my eyes. If you really don't like me, Lily, just say it. I'm leaving. There is no need to remind me repeatedly. I'm not fit for this. I know you've always looked down on me. Think I'm not good enough for River. You really don't want me here. You? Good. I'll go. If it's a game of playing the innocent, who can play that? River frowned, obviously embarrassed. He glared at Lily. Lily has already apologized to her. Yes, Lily and his friends chimed in. Look how sad you make Anna upset. Say you're sorry. Lily pouted, obviously upset, but still reluctantly apologized. I'm sorry, she muttered to herself. I put my headphones back on and said no more. Up front, Lily and River continue their playful banter, almost glued to each other. The mountain views are breathtaking. Towering trees and rolling hills. When we arrived at the rafting site, it's time to sign the liability waiver. River hesitated. His pen hovered over the paper for a long time. Do we really have to sign this? What if something happens? He asked nervously. Don't worry, River, Lily said. Stay close to him. Her chest almost touched his arm. I picked this especially for your birthday. It's guaranteed to be exciting. That's right, River. His friends added. Pat him on the shoulder. Today is your birthday. Let's do something exciting to celebrate. River turned to me ambivalently. Anna, do you really want to do this? His eyes pleaded with me, obviously wishing I could say no. After years with him, I could read him like I read a book. He didn't want to go, but I need to make the decision for him. Look at his pitiful expression. I wavered for a moment. Is this time? His fear will change the outcome. But then I remembered my past life. After we move into the dream graduate program, River tentatively suggested, give up our spot to apply to another school, a little-known university in Lily's hometown. After, I learned that Lily had planned to go to that school. On the night of his birthday, River seemed distracted. Check his phone repeatedly. The excuse was that his advisor contacted him. I put those thoughts aside. Look at him steadily. If it's for your birthday, River, I'm glad to go. Let's get started. I didn't notice his bloodshot eyes or hatred lurking in their depths. After we got married, River often uses work as an excuse to stay away. Left me shut. Once, while tidying up the study, I found a photo of Lily that he had secretly hidden. On the night of Lily's death, he came home drunk and knocked on my door. And just like that, we finally had our first child. When I gave birth, I was lying weak in a hospital bed. His support is urgently needed. He hired a babysitter and never came to see me again. I thought he was just busy, but actually, he was mourning Lily and couldn't bear to face me. Memories of him later forcing my head down the toilet. Blame me. Stop him from going on a rafting trip. Let me come back to reality. River, everyone has put in so much effort. Celebrate your birthday. As your girlfriend, of course I have to go along. Continue to sign the waiver. I said, we still need to get our gear. Smile sweetly at him. At the urging of everyone, he finally signed the waiver. Then join us on the bus up the mountain. When it's time to change into our gear, more dramatic events unfold. I've done my homework and I'm well prepared. Wear long sleeves and long pants for protection. Beyond the standard problem helmet and life jacket, courtesy of the park, I spent a fortune on extra protective gear. Elbow and knee pads are included. Lily pointed at me and laughed. Anna, you're being too cautious. You look like a middle-aged woman in that outfit. River's expression changed to disapproval when he glanced at me. In contrast, Lily wears a light tank top and shorts. Her fair skin is on full display. Attract a lot of attention from other tourists. She also said, triumphant. River clearly likes my style. Anna, you should take notes and study. Don't talk nonsense. River hurriedly interrupted him, obviously worried about what I'd pick up. He even reached out and covered Lily's mouth to highlight himself. Lily bought a cute cartoon helmet online to show off her figure. She refused to fasten her life jacket properly. I noticed it right away. The helmet lacks proper safety certifications. If she bumps into something while rafting, it shatters upon impact. River must have noticed too. He glanced between Lily and me and said, Anna, why don't you give Lily your knee pads and helmet? Although I was mentally prepared, his audacity still struck me. River, I said coldly. I spent almost $800 on this gear. Why should I give it to her? Because her face is bigger than mine. River replied self-righteously. Anna, you can swim. Lily can't. Even if the raft flips, you will be able to protect yourself. Lily has been my best friend since she was a child. Can't you show her some kindness? Out of consideration for me. I rolled my eyes, looking back at my past life. I marveled at how stupid I had been. Stick with this pair. They deserve total destruction. If you care about her so much, why don't you buy her the right equipment yourself? Helmets and life jackets are provided at the park, and she is the one who refuses to wear them. There's a shop over there. If you're worried, why don't you buy her something better? I pointed to a nearby shop sign. Lily looked impressed. Her eyes widened with gratitude, staring at River. You're still taking care of me, River. You are so cute. River's face turned red, then pale. He gritted his teeth and led Lily to the store. I adjusted my knees and elbow pads. He knew very well that River wouldn't spend a few $100, or even thousands, on protective gear that can only be used once. After all, I've been paying for him all the time, from clothing to food to rentals. because his family's financial situation is not very good. He was too proud to work part-time. Without my support, he couldn't live on his meager life. A monthly stipend of $500. Sure enough, after a long delay, River and Lily are back. Lily's expression wasn't too happy as she lifted the gear River had bought her. A flimsy disposable poncho for $5. River's friends and I stifled our laughter to the best of our ability. What's so funny? Lily said indignantly. River only bought me this poncho because he doesn't want me to catch a cold when I get wet. I smirked in my heart. So River should be right to her. The total value is $5. When we boarded the raft, Lily clutched River's arm. Stop him from sitting with me. River, can you sit down with me? I'm brave enough only with you. River hesitated. After all, I'm his girlfriend, at least officially, Anna. Lily turned to me with an exaggerated pout. You've been with River for many years. Can't you let me stay with him for 2 hours, please? Anna, you can swim, River added. Think his reasons sound reasonable. It doesn't matter who you sit with. But if I sit with Lily, if the raft flips, I can help her. I smiled, maintaining a relaxed tone. I don't mind at all. Really, I didn't. After all, who knows if any of you will ever come back alive? Lily laughed and eagerly dragged River onto the raft. She singled out. I stayed behind and waited to board with River's friend. During the rafting trip, Lily posted the status on her private social media accounts. Vacation with my favorite people. It reads. Attached is a photo of her and River face to face. Both grinned. Meantime, River also posted something that everyone could see except me. Bring the girl I love to experience this adventure. Lily replied in the comments with the shy emoji. Their interaction is disgusting saccharine. Look back at their rafts. I saw them almost sticking together. Exchanged tender glances. Lily doesn't enter the frame. It wasn't until after River and I started dating. I thought she was just his childhood friend. And never overanalyze their relationship. River often laments how hard his life is. Loss of parents. Young and tireless in his efforts to get into college. I felt sorry for him and shared everything I had. But the truth is, River and Lily have always been lovers. They even had a wedding. In their hometown. River pursued me just to take advantage of my finances. Their plan is to squeeze my money. Before marriage. Officially, that ill-fated rafting trip from my previous life ruined their plans. When I was dying, River recounts all his sweet memories with Lily, just to realize in my last moments, I'm nothing more than a tool. With that painful memory, I turn my head away, pretend not to notice their flirtation. The first part of the rafting route, relatively calm, with a gentle descent and a smooth bend. I have to admit that the scenery is stunning. The emerald green river is lined with dense forests. The cool air is refreshing. Didn't I say you prepared too much, Anna? Lily shouted triumphantly from the raft in front of me. The water here is not even fast. She gave me a mocking look before removing her life jacket. In the calm part of the river, Lily and River start splashing water on each other. Their laughter echoed throughout the region. Soon, Lily's thin clothes were completely soaked. Hold on tightly to her curves. River's expression changed visibly. At that moment, our raft drifted into a dark cave. The space was pitch black, and River took the opportunity to block my view. He pulled Lily into his arms and kissed her deeply. Although I can't see clearly, the exchange of their lips and saliva, it echoed awkwardly in the silence. Even River's friend turned his head in embarrassment. If we're not here, they might turn this thing into something steaming. River rendezvous, river rendezvous. When a raft emerges from a cave, Lily tried to act casual, smooth her hair, but her swollen lips betrayed her. Anna, wasn't that funny? She said, looking at me with a defiant smile. I just smiled back and didn't say anything. The real show is yet to come. The calm stretch soon came to an end. When we are close to the drop of 80 meters, the river is turbulent and turbulent. Numerous sharp turns and huge drops ahead. We have arrived. about a third of the rafting routes. Lily, wanting to get as close to River as possible, completely ignore safety instructions. Sit at both ends of the raft to maintain balance. A huge blow. Flip over several rafts, including ours. Help, help. Lily's panicked cries echoed. The water wasn't deep, barely up to her chest. But she waved helplessly, splashing everywhere, as if drowning. I was thrown into the water along with the others. When I got back on the raft, I accidentally swallowed some water and began to cough violently. However, River didn't even look at me. Without hesitation, he swam straight to Lily. Help her get back on the raft and make sure she's safe. Ironically, River can only swim because I paid him to take lessons with the best coach I could find. Fear that one day you will face such a situation. Right now, he's using the skills I've funded to save another woman. That was horrible, Lily whimpered. She hugged River tightly like a boneless cat, shivering. If you haven't been there, River, I don't know what will happen to me. Only then did River seem to remember my presence. He gave me an awkward look. Notice I'm still coughing. Anna Lily had never been in the water before. That's why she panicked. Don't go the wrong way. We are completely innocent, he said, trying to justify himself. Why do you swallow water? Lily seems to realize that she needs to address everyone. Interrupted. Right, Anna. Don't be jealous or anything. It was just a small accident, she added, laughing nervously. Of course not, I replied calmly, without showing any emotion. The two of you have always been close. It was dangerous just now, which is understandable, even if I swallowed the water. But that's a good thing. River reacted so quickly and saved you. Lily, are you okay? Lily waved her hand disdainfully, obviously uneasy. I am fine. I am fine, she grunted. River's friend, who had been watching the scene, gave me a sympathetic look. It's obvious. They fully understood what River had just done. But I pretended not to notice. Hold on tightly to the edge of the raft. Pull yourself together. Another big wave is coming. Shout out. The next moment, our raft descended almost vertically. The raft fell downward. Lily's shrill screams pierced the air. Judging by the duration of the fall, drop off at least 200 meters. A surging flood is pouring into us. Fill the pedestal in seconds. Before we rescue the water, powerful current pushed the raft toward the jagged edge of the cliff. With a deafening crashing sound, both Lily and River were thrown off the raft. Due to the impact force, our group was slightly luckier. Our raft collided with theirs, absorbs part of the impact. When we were flipped into the water, we weren't violently kicked out. Lily and River weren't so lucky. Current throw them on the other side of the river. Lily's cheap helmet, as expected, it shattered when it hit the rock. Sharp shards scratched her face. The blood spreads rapidly into the water, but she doesn't even seem to notice the pain. There are no life jackets. She struggled desperately. She choked on the water as she struggled to breathe. River gripped a rock tightly with one hand. Grab Lily with your other hand at the same time. He screamed at the top of his throat. Help! Someone to help us. Just like in my previous life. The rescue team was nowhere to be found. They must have rested. It wasn't a weekend. And there are not many visitors today. And River and Lily are the closest to us. No one has the time or ability to help them. Everyone is focused on saving themselves. Oh, and was thrown on a rock. Luckily, I bought protective gear. My elbow pads and knee pads. Any injuries were prevented. After assessing the situation, I calmly instructed the others to take a deep breath. Let their bodies float naturally. And hold your head to protect yourself, because they follow the current downstream to a calmer area. When we drift with the current, I saw River pull out all the stops. Pull Lily towards him. In a selfless move, or perhaps a stupid move, he took off his life jacket and helmet, then hand them to her. I glanced at them briefly. My expressions are unreadable. Before closing your eyes to prepare for the next drop of water, I didn't bother to warn River. In rap, It's so violent. Even elite swimmers don't stand a chance. No proper safety gear. We managed to climb back onto the raft. In the next calm zone. At this time, River and Lily are also swept up in the area, although not without consequences. In the whole ordeal, Lily hugged River tightly in fear, whipped wildly in his arms, prevents him from navigating normally. In the chaos, River's leg was stuck deep in a slit, between rocks. Steep drop directly below. The raging waters lapped against his body mercilessly. However, Lily escaped relatively unharmed. Thanks to River for giving her a life jacket. She floated towards us effortlessly, landing safely nearby. Anna, ask for help. My leg got stuck. I couldn't pull it out, River screamed. His voice was hoarse in despair. The rock that held his leg in place seemed motionless. The relentless waves continued to hit him. He swallowed quite a bit of water, coughing and stuttering between requests for help. At that moment, the rescue team finally arrived. They surveyed the scene, their faces gloomy. One of them frowned and snapped. Why don't you wear a life jacket? Where is your helmet? A waiver signed by you. Make it clear. Any injuries caused by not wearing safety gear. It's all your responsibility. Lily, with tears on her face, hurriedly interjected. It's not his fault. The life jacket and helmet were damaged because of me. River gritted his teeth, his face darkening. After a brief silence, he roared. Save me first. We'll take care of everything else later. Rescuers jumped into the water and climbed the rocks above River. He grabbed River's arm and tried to pull him away, but River cried out in pain. Useless. My leg felt like it was going to break. The rescuers repositioned themselves, trying to pull River from different angles. But the cracks are unyielding. After more than 10 minutes of exhausting effort, sweat ran down the faces of the rescuers. However, River's leg is still firmly stuck. Help me. I don't want to die here, River screamed. His voice was filled with primal fear. The waves continued to pound him. His leg twitched with pain, and panic began. A friend of River's couldn't contain his anger. Lily, it's all your fault. If you don't stick to this ridiculous rafting travel, River won't be stuck here. Another friend, a boy in a yellow shirt, added. Yes, if you don't have that many struggles. None of this is going to happen. Faced with more and more accusations, Lily began to sob. Her voice trembled. I didn't mean to let this happen. I just wanted River to have some fun. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Although he was in pain, River somehow plucked up the courage to comfort her. It's not your fault, Lily. I don't blame you. His voice was now fainter, barely audible. Lily wiped away her tears and looked at River gratefully. Thank you for understanding me, River. She muttered to herself, sobbing. At this point, I calmly held up my phone. I've called the police. But the place is too remote. It takes them hours to get here. Let's see if we can pull River out. Meanwhile, Lily muttered to herself, avoiding the accusatory gazes. I don't think I can help much. I'm not strong enough. I just waited on the shore. She climbed ashore and sat down. Ignore the disapproving gazes of others. River's expression became sour. His frustration and pain intensified. Over the next few hours, we did everything we could to get him free. First, we tried to shift the rock as a whole. Pour all your strength. But the boulder, probably shaped by years of natural erosion, there was not a single inch of concession. Our collective strength is not enough. It has been suggested that smaller rocks should be used for chiseling. In the tuba, hopefully it will fall apart. We collected the stones very quickly and start banging on the boulder. However, only after a few blows. River let out a creepy scream. Stop. The power went straight into my legs. It's unbearable. We climbed back to the riverbank, regrouped to discuss our next move. This time we tried to pull River out together, but almost threw us off balance. Let's plunge into the water. We still do. River's leg began to bleed profusely. The sharp edges of the gaps cut deeper with each move. Despair began to emerge. My voice trembled as I called out to him. Tears streamed down my face. What we do, River. If only we hadn't come for this rafting trip. If only I had stopped Lily from bringing you here. I should have stopped him. The moment River took off his life jacket. I should make sure he keeps it on. Now his leg is stuck in the rock. His blood circulation was severely restricted. Tissue damage was the least of his worries. Prolonged compression may result in necrosis. Despair and anger were engraved on his pale face. Lily, it's all your fault. He yelled at her. His voice was hoarse. And now you're just standing there watching. Gone were the gentle tones he usually left for her. Your legs are attached to your own body, River. It's not like I'm holding a knife to your neck. And force you to come. Lily shot back. Provocation. River was silent. Not because he didn't refute. Rather, it was because he was too tired to argue. The icy waters drained his physical strength. His body trembled uncontrollably. His skin had turned horribly pale. Just when his consciousness began to fade, the rescue team arrived at the scene with specialized equipment. They planned to use drill bits to widen the cracks around River's legs. But once the drill bit touches the rock, River screamed in pain. The shock sent the debris deeper into his legs, causes unbearable suffering. It won't work, River shouted. There was desperation in his voice. It hurts so much. It would break my legs. The team switched to cutting tools. Break the rocks. However, the rocks extend deep below the surface. And progress is very slow. Time is running out. Rescue leader. He said to River with a serious expression. Son, we have two options. We can continue to drill to widen the fracture. It's going to be more painful. Or we can amputate your lower leg. No, I just got accepted into a top university. I can't afford to lose my leg, River shouted. Hold on tightly to the rescuer's uniform. Tears streamed down his face. Please help me. You don't have much time left. Hypothermia and dehydration can kill you if you stay in the water longer. Rescuers warn. River's sobs fell silent. With the heaviness of the situation, there was silence for a long time, and he whispered, faintly, drilling. Just do it. With the resumption of exercises, River's screams echoed through the canyon. With each vibration, his pain intensified. Blood flowed from his feet. The water around him was dyed bright red. His cries grew weaker and weaker, until he finally lost consciousness. His body succumbed to hypothermia. After unremitting efforts, rescuers managed to free River's injured leg. It's unrecognizable. A mass of flesh and broken bones. We hurriedly put his limp body on a stretcher and rushed him to an ambulance. Abandoned the treacherous mountains. Lily also climbed into the ambulance. It was then that I noticed a deep wound on her face. The wound appears to be heavily infected. She had a fever. At the hospital, we were all thoroughly examined. Luck. I and others were declared healthy and discharged. However, River was not so lucky. Chronic lack of blood circulation and contaminated water. Severe tissue and nerve damage was caused. Doctor confirmed. Amputation is the only option to save his life. Outside the operating room, River's parents were devastated. His mother fainted several times, and his father sobbed uncontrollably. Meantime, Lily's injuries left a permanent scar on her face. Despite undergoing surgery to remove necrotic tissue, the damage is irreversible. Her desperate wails filled the halls of the hospital. Haunted, an echo of the price they paid for their choice. I took a taxi home that night. Both of my parents are alive and well throughout my life. As soon as I stepped through the door, the rafting trip is still soaking wet. Tears welled up in my eyes. I rushed up and hugged my mom tightly. Mom, Dad, I miss you so much. My mom hugged me tenderly. Her voice is warm and loving. Silly boy, we just met you a few days ago. Did rafting mess up your head? My dad giggled and joined in. Who upsets our little princess? Tell me and I'll sort them out. Bury your face in your mother's arms. I finally let out all my pent-up frustrations and the sadness of my past and present life. Cry freely. On the day of school registration, River didn't show up. He may still be recovering in the hospital. Ultimately, his absence led to the school revoking his admission. After some time, River's mom came to see me and pushed him in a wheelchair. She wants me to be accountable to him. I showed her video of River and Lily's wedding reception. Auntie, I said coldly, I know everything. If you insist that I be responsible for him, I will post this video online. Let everyone see what kind of son you raised. A man who plays on both sides. River's face turned pale. After a long silence, he and his mother left. Their faces were full of resentment. I went on to complete my graduate studies and take over my family's business. Meantime, Lily is forced to marry him by River's parents. His leg was amputated. River descends into despair and indulges in alcohol. When he was drunk, he would take out his frustration on Lily, blame her for everything he's lost. In turn, Lily despises River because she can't provide for her. It was useless to reprimand him often. They used to be a loving relationship, evolved into mutual hatred, turned them into enemies under the same roof. One day, I received a call from an unfamiliar number. It's River. His voice was crazy, almost crazy. Anna, why don't you stop me from going rafting this time? I remember in the last life you stopped me. We lived so happily together. Why don't you stop me? I replied coldly, and I felt my anger come out. River, you only remember half of the story. Yes, we were happy at one time. I even gave birth to your baby. But you blame me for Lily's death. You killed me, suffocating me in the toilet, stealing my family's wealth, leaving my parents and children starving to death. Why would I help you again? You regret not going rafting in your last life. So I'm going to let you be here. This is the path you choose. Enjoy the life you live with Lily. I gritted my teeth and remembered my misery. In a past life, the flood returned. No, Anna, I love you. River cried in despair. After I married Lily, her true colors were revealed. She spends all her time dancing and gambling. She spent all my parents' money. And still insult me every day. Say I'm useless. I know I made a mistake. Please give me another chance. His sobs were pitiful. But I didn't back down. Enjoy the life you choose, River. I said firmly and hung up. Know that he is suffering. It gives me a great sense of satisfaction. The next day, the police called me and told me a shocking news. River died. Apparently, Lily has accumulated a huge gambling debt. The loan shark came knocking on the door. Stress kills River's parents. And Lily's constant abuse and threats from debt collectors pushed River to the brink. In the heat of the moment, he punched a knife and stabbed Lily as she approached. Then with the same knife, he ended his own life. After completing my confession at the police station, I received a message from my mom. Hurry home, Anna. I made your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs. I lazily stretched and walked out. I was bathed in warm sunshine. My life has just begun.